Hello and welcome to today's video. So our last video was 5 tips and tricks that you must know. Today is going to be 5 more tips and tricks that you should know. These are going to be more orientated towards the higher levels. So these are things you should probably know past about level 130 to 140. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Here we go. So hint or tip number 1, this is the use of Lixes. So when I say Lixes, it's an abbreviation of Lixes. So Lixes you can get from multiple different ways. You can get it from either chests, you can buy it from players, or you can get it from the bounty vendor here. So I'm going to show you the bounty vendor Lixes first, purely because he has them all grouped together here. So as you can see, you've got regular Lixes, sorry you don't have them here. So super Lixes, which are the second tier. So these give pretty decent boosts from leveling quicker to abilities quicker. Also make your attack speed quicker as well. Also raises your attack level. It can raise your total health as well, but you'll have to use a combination elixir here, or you'll have to use an actual one from the shop, which I'll show you in just a moment. So the combination elixir here, which is an interesting one, this has all of the effects in one. So these are most valued. However, you do actually have the ability to get heroic combinations also, which are of course much better. So one thing I will show you again, we also have here in the Platinum store, these potions. Now what a lot of people won't tell you and don't actually know too much about is that these potions, some of them can stack the effects. So for example, the combination potions, of course you can't have 2 combination potions at the same time. So if you have this version and the other version, some of them stack. For example, we've got our attack potions, we've got our haste elixirs, and then we've also got the health ones here. So these health potions, not these ones, sorry, not the regeneration, super max health potions. So these bad boys you can actually pair with a combination potion to increase your health even further than it was before. Same with armor, same with attack, same with defense, and energy too. And that's pretty much everything for Lixes. Just before I forget, I said there were 2 different types of Lixes, so the ones you can get from the Platinum store and the ones that you can get from elsewhere. That's completely wrong, I completely forgot about another type. So these are event Lixes. So I have most of them here, all different types, but these are from the latest, let me just pronounce this right, Samhain event. So it says 2014 there, it's pretty much every year. These are actually from 2019, but they also stack on odd occasions, I believe. Number 2. So for point number 2, we've got Lixes and Reavers. So these are our factions in the Corrupted Gardens. Now a lot of people are always debating whether it's worth doing factions or not. In my personal opinion, it definitely is. This barding that I use is a Lixes faction barding. So this you can get at tier 4 Lixes. So when you've killed enough of the Reavers, or you've done enough of the daily or weekly quests, you actually get access to another store. Now this store gives you a whole multitude of jewellery and also these sorts of bardings, as well as some potions to help with your weekly boss. Now that weekly boss that you kill can, it's called the weekly boss, let me just show you. So I'm in the faction Lixes, which is the blue colour, so I kill the red guys, which are the Reavers. So you'll come over here, and once you've got level 4, which you can see in your abilities, there you go. And you see I've got -4 and +4, so this is my favour in each side. So when you go over here and you talk to this guy here, he starts 3 different quests. So you've got the weekly, you've got 2 different other types which are item based, so you hand them in and he'll effectively give you favour in return. And here you have the shop for Lixes. So friendly is the lowest, dignified is the second, illustrious is the third, and then you've got Grand Vizier. So if I go to the Grand Vizier, which is the highest tier, you'll notice the jewellery is actually pretty good. So it's pretty much like luxury jewellery, has the ticks on it for generation, and as you can see for each class here, it has pretty decent stats if I'm completely honest. and these are most sought after by tanks. So for the lights, as you can see, vitality and defense paired together there, that's pretty damn good, and for 600k per ring, it's not too much, you know, and it doesn't break the bank. So you've also got the bands here, also not too bad, gives cold damage, health, energy, whatever, whichever your class is, it usually changes around that. Then we've got obviously the amulets. Now 60 protect seems very tempting. I personally have one of these just to switch sometimes. I don't often use it, but I have it. And obviously it gives the other stats there too. So 300 strength, not bad if you don't have access to BT gear or other stuff, but you might as well go for the damage next, in my opinion. But the health regeneration is pretty useful at some bosses. And then you have the barding there, like I said, and your potions. So these potions are supposed to help with the weekly boss. I'll be completely honest, it's not too helpful. Slows you down when you leave the area, as it says there, about the warn side effects. But yeah, so that's the weeklies. So let me just quickly show you where the Reavers would be. So if you join the Reavers faction, just over here with the red banners underneath this sketchy looking bit here. So probably not very professional, it's kind of weird. Yeah, okay mate. Well, that's Reavers. Okay, so just to add on an extra point like that I missed about where the weekly bosses are. If you go back and watch one of my my Corrupted Garden tour videos, that actually shows you where both weekly bosses are. Also shows you where some of the 5-star bosses are, which also help get Favour a bit quicker. So just go ahead and watch that if you'd like to know where the weekly bosses are, or know anything else about the Corrupted Gardens if you don't have level 180, which is of course the requirement to enter Corrupted Gardens. Part of leveling when you're a higher level, this is point 3 by the way, and I'm just going to call this one Dailies. So every single level or area that you have opened gives you the ability to do a daily quest. Now these daily quests help tremendous amounts with getting XP when you're trying to level. They also save you Lixes, so you don't have to, you know, spend stupid amounts on leveling up. And paired with your bounties, it can be pretty good, pretty damn useful. So the most used one is probably in the Arcane, since after about level 220 you don't get any mobs that are higher than 220. So what a lot of the guys tend to do to level up past level 220 to get into the 230s or higher, like Lorraine, who is on the leaderboard in Solitaire, you can actually do these daily quests and they give you a pretty decent amount of XP per day. So this one in Arcane here, you can see you talk to this guy here and you get these 3 bosses that you have to kill. So you have the Eye and the 2 Sentinels. So you have to talk to this guy here. It says you haven't killed him yet. It's because I haven't started the quest. Another one that you can also do to give you even further XP is if you go to Forbidden Halls, right at the beginning, so at the effigy of Gelabron Laystone, and you talk to this fatso over here, so Sentinel Alpha, and like it says there, you can start the quests. So those will be one by one. Number 4. So for number 4, we're going to be talking about Hotswapping. Now I could talk for a hell of a long time about Hotswapping, the benefits, just going into a bit more depth. Now Hotswapping is basically just changing jewellery or armour or anything else that gives a bonus to effectively hit higher or for your skill to do better. For example, one of the easiest ways of doing Hotswapping, which I use, you can change these braces. So if you don't want to put so many points into, for example, sharpen weapon, I have these two, my brace and my ring, which I switch to, and I simply just do that there. So that brings my sharpen weapon up to 50, where it's initially around 30 something, and then I can just switch back to my attack gear. So if this is during combat and I was fighting, let's say I just quickly wanted to do it, takes a couple of seconds and benefits me as it hits slightly higher. So my auto attacks, as it says there, will hit higher. Another thing you can do are ones for attack. So as you can see here, I've got these rings just underneath my attacks. Now these are actually, these rings here are Gelly rings. So these are dropped from Gellerbron himself. So as you can see there, they add, as well as the actual skill level points, actually adds attack damage onto that as well. So in this case, for long shot, you'll add 898 damage of long shot extra. So obviously if you switch that and then use your long shot, it will hit slightly higher than if you didn't. And it's quite a simple swap, and what I tend to do, I use recast swaps as well. So I'll switch to my recast braces here. So if I use my skills, you'll see. And just as that's loading, I'll press here, switch them all out, and you can see that's already loaded. So that's a hell of a lot quicker, and with the recast braces you can see it loads a lot faster. Okay, so now we move on to point number 5. Now this is a very interesting discussion point. So this is about abilities. Now abilities are always confusing, always quite difficult for new people to learn, and these are incredibly helpful. Now you're probably wondering, why the hell am I standing here? That's because these are statues. So obviously you get a couple of these around the game. You get them in Crookback Hollow, you get them in Stone Vale, you get them in Shalament Ravine, and all over really. So these statues, they seem pretty pointless at first, but they all have some form of quest, which I strongly recommend doing as early as possible. Now the reason why I recommend doing these are to actually give you availability to these abilities. So they're usually some form of defensive abilities. As you can see, mine are absolutely horrid. This is due to me just being completely lazy and not really wanting to do them. So these abilities all give better defenses and evasions for different stuff. So for warding, that's just defense against casts and spells. For example, if you're attacking a mage, or like Scaff for example, which is the infernal boss. You've also got things such as your bear riding ability, your pet abilities, mount abilities, novelty, whatever else really. Now these all really help. For example, scholar ability actually increases your chance of getting a lucky experience. You've also got treasure hunter ability, which increases your chance of getting lucky gold. Let's see what else you've got. You've got these ones: willpower, fortitude. These are all defensive. So these are things that help with evasions and defense. I specifically can't tell you the exact ones. Same as reflex, and then you've got your pet abilities there, like it says. And they make a great difference in your damage too. So another thing is when you have your bow ability, for example for a ranger, or you can have, let's say, axe ability, hand-to-hand ability, and all sorts of other stuff. So this actually helps you hit a little bit higher. And then you've also got your range combat ability, you've got melee combat ability, cunning as a rogue, and others for mages. Now these actually help with your skill abilities. So these help you, for example, heal higher if you do a light heal, or if you do sharpened weapon, this will also help you hit a bit higher. Okay, so hey guys, this is the conclusion of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. At the moment I'm actually joined here by Ron. I just wanted to say hello, like I said. I've also got some other mentions to make. So I've got Stealthy, Clark Killer, N0, obviously no, and we've got a few others. We've also got Starbound Ranger, which was kind enough to donate 25 knowledge elixirs, which will be going into a giveaway when I reach 100 subscribers. Just to let you know, I'm actually very close to 100 subscribers. I'm about 91 at the moment, just in case. So as soon as I hit those 100 subscribers, I'll be making a giveaway video. So please watch out for that, and let your friends know also.